welcome to today's episode of Voices of the Present. Today we will be discussing stress and time management with Doha. Doha Nassar is a second grade teacher in Montgomery County. She has conducted numerous youth programs here at ILIA and currently serves as the lead for ILIA's Empower One coaching program. So Doha, the first question I have for you is, what is the importance of time management and why?
So time management is one of the most important things that I think we can master as youth, especially because it is basically how we organize our time. So if you have effective time management, then you'll be able to complete more tasks in a more productive manner. So it's important because it instills productivity. You make sure you're not spending too much time on one thing. And you can accomplish more in a short period of time, which means you then have more time for yourself so that you can have some self-care, some time to decompress, just having more me time, essentially.
So kind of shifting gears here, what do you think are main causes of stress?
So everybody experiences stress differently, and they have different stressors that might cause their stress, but there are definitely a lot of commonalities between stressors. So for example, things that might put pressure on you, things that control, like you feel like you're out of control or you can't control a situation, that might put some stress on you. Having big changes or times of uncertainty, feeling like you have too many responsibilities or you're spreading yourself too thin. So those are all things that I would say are common between stressors, but everybody definitely has their own things that cause their stress. I think it's important also to recognize that when we think of stress, we tend to think of a big situation or something major that's happening, like a big assignment in school, as our stress, like our stressor. But we have daily stressors constantly. So for example, if you wake up late one day and you are just running late to school, that's a stressor right there. If you forgot your homework, that's another stressor. If you're sitting at a red light and you're just frustrated, that's a stressor. So recognizing that it's not always something major that's going to be causing your stress, but sometimes it's small things throughout the day that put pressure on you, and those are still things that might cause your stress. So just recognizing that stress is not something that you can necessarily get rid of, but it's constantly around you, it's inevitable. So your goal isn't really to get rid of stress, but it's more like learning how to manage your stress or instilling things within your day so that you can find a way to better control the stress before it controls you, essentially.
So kind of connecting the first two questions together, do you think stress and time management go hand in hand?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you have good time management, you're definitely able to manage your time better so that you can have more time for your self-care. And so if you are being more productive, you're not procrastinating assignments in school, you're using your time in a way where you can have time for yourself, you can then find ways to effectively manage your stress. If you have those built-in times in your day where you can, let's say, exercise or do some meditation or read a book, whatever it is that is going to help you relieve your stress. When you have good time management, you can incorporate those more frequently throughout your schedule.
You mentioned having good time management. So how do you think youth can manage your time more efficiently?
So it really depends on you. There are many different ways for you to manage your time. When you create a schedule, that's definitely the best way, in my opinion, to manage your time, because you have a designated time for each task that you need to complete. So usually what I like to do is I have, let's say, 3 main things that I want to accomplish in a day. So when you set a structured schedule, it helps you manage your time more efficiently, and it holds you accountable as well.
So earlier you mentioned how you can never get rid of stress. Stress is always around us. And so what advice do you have for youth on how to cope with their stress?
So I think the best thing is to just be in tune with yourself. I know that sounds a little cliche, but listen to your body. Because when you can recognize what your stressors are, you're definitely going to be able to kind of cut your reaction before it becomes something bigger than it needs to be. Just knowing what the different symptoms of stress are. Everybody has different symptoms, so it's not really a one size fits all, but some of the commonalities could be having an increased heart rate, feeling sweaty or cold, having headaches, being nauseous, Sometimes it's like having aches in your body or being really thirsty, like having more dehydration. So, like, just knowing what some of your symptoms are so that when you do recognize, like, okay, I'm encountering a stressful situation, you can kind of step back and take some deep breath, recognize, like, okay, I'm encountering a stressful situation. This is what I need to do now to like make sure that I don't end up having a reaction that's not necessary per se. So just recognizing your symptoms and also adding, like I said earlier, just having those times within your schedule where you can have stress relief times. So whether it be once a week, you're spending time reading a book that you enjoy, or going hiking, or spending time with family and friends. So like having that designated within your schedule, but also daily things, just like having some time to meditate, whether it be 5 minutes in the morning or in the evening, reflecting on your day and thinking, okay, this is what went well today. This is what I'm grateful for. Maybe this didn't go so well today. So what am I going to do tomorrow? So just having some time to reflect, that's also very helpful. But yeah, just like instilling some time within your day and schedule to just decompress and have some time for yourself.
So, how can we help other people around us that are dealing with stress?
Well, I mean, I think helping yourself in a way helps other people. In school, you all have assignments, right? So maybe you can set a time together to just work on those assignments together. So be like, okay, we're going to have a study date today. So we're going to break down this major project into smaller chunks and we're going to work together on it. So that's one, you're spending time with friends, as long as you're being productive during that time and you're not all just talking, but you know, you're using that time with your friends to be productive, but it's also stress relief in a way. You're there to support each other with the project, but you're also having the companionship of your friendship, like of your friends. Also just doing those different stress relief activities together. So maybe you'll have a friend and you'll encourage each other to work out. um, Maybe you're going to decide, okay, we are spending way too much time online in the evenings. We need to sleep earlier because sleep helps definitely with your stress relief as well. So we can decide, okay, we're going to sleep early this week and see how that helps us. So just kind of supporting each other to build healthy habits like eating healthy, sleeping on time or at an earlier time, and just exercising.
Well, Jekyll Khairan, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you. You did such an amazing job. You gave such really good advice. And for those of you watching, don't forget to check out some of our older videos and to share, like, and subscribe. So,
Fine. Thank you for having me.